What's going on YouTube? SpencerDog24 here with another Porsche 944 video, and today I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump on my 84 NA. I've already disconnected the negative battery cable. I've also unscrewed the gas cap to remove any vacuum. So I'm going to set up the next shot where I'll be underneath the rear passenger side where the fuel pump is, right next to the wheel. So I will be right back. So I am under the car right now, and here is the passenger rear wheel. Here's the fuel pump right here. The 85 and later models, I believe they have like a splash panel over here. So you may need to remove that. I have an 84, but so they don't come with it. But the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is get your Phillips head and, your flathead, and you're just going to unwind this screw right here, slide it out, as well as the flathead on the other side, move it out. And you're going to want to crimp this hose off. I don't need to because there's no fuel in my tank. You can do it two ways. You can either pull the hose out from this end, and then you can remove your fuel strainer to take a look at that, make sure that that's unclogged, or crimp the hose at this point and you can just remove it from the fuel pump, which is what I'm going to do right here. And it's definitely on pretty tight. Let me see. There we go. And so normally gasoline would be coming out of here. Since there's none in the tank, none will do that. So you would crimp this off, remove it, and just get it out of the way. Next, up here, there's a 19mm bolt that you're going to want to get. Mosquitoes are bad today. And you can get a 6-point or a 12-point if it's not too bad. And you'll just unscrew this. I've already loosened it to save time. That'll come off. And then you have your fuel line right here. You'll probably, at this point, gasoline will be coming out of there. You'll want to wrap this up in aluminum foil so no dirt and debris. I'm actually going to be removing the entire line when I replace the fuel filter, so I'm just going to move it off to the side. Next, what you'll see up here is your ground and positive points for the pump itself. That is an 8mm for your ground and the 7mm for your positive. So I'm going to get my 8mm and 7mm ratchets out, remove those, and I will be back once that's done. Okay, so now we have the 8mm and the 7mm wires off. Go ahead and stick those up and out of the way. The only thing holding on the fuel pump right now are these 10mm vibration mounts. Now there's one here, one there, and there's one on the top side to where if you looking at it from where the bumper is up, the third one is right up there. Now all three of these are 10mm, and what you'll need to do is remove all the rubber vibration mounts. I'm going to do that off camera just because I can't hold the camera and do it at the same time. So the next time you see me, they will be removed. Oh, also you're going to want to remove them from the filter as well as from the car mounts. Before you try to remove the filter, don't remove it just from the car and try to move it out because it won't. So I will be right back. So now that I have the fuel pump removed, what I did forget to mention is when I was removing the fuel rail, there are two copper washers. The outer diameter is 12mm, or you can use a 7/16 washer. And so basically you would put your new washer on there, slide the fuel rail, the fuel line on, slide your second washer, then screw your nut on, and that's how it would go. There's the old washer, there's the new washer. It's a bit fatter, will work just as good. So I will put these guys off to the side. To get the fuel pump cover off, I'm going to put my camera on a stand. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my fuel pump cover, and all you do, it's a cover. Mine's quite tattered, but normally you have two snaps right here. You would disconnect them. I tried doing that, and I ripped the cap of the mine off. So all you do, get this flap out of the way, and you twist it off like that. Now please mind where the markings are, because it's important, if you have one of these, to put it back exactly how it goes, because this screw right here needs to line up on the inside of right there. It also needs to orientate the flathead pointing out. Now, the problem you may run into is if you purchase a fuel pump that looks like this, it will fit in this fuel filter. Now, the one I purchased is this one, which is a bit longer, and while it can slide in there, it does not fit in there. It's just a bit too long. Let me move this guy right here. Okay. It's just a bit too long. So mind which one you get. So if you have a fuel pump case, koozie, or a cover, insulator, whatever you want to call it, the blue ones will fit. If you don't and you need a replacement, just your generic silver ones will. Now let me get the part number off of this guy. All that's connected is a regular flathead. So let me grab that screwdriver. So, now that that's done, go ahead, slide the filter out. The part number on this one is Alpha Romeo Bravo Peter 314501, and this one will fit in this cover. So if you have this cover, I do recommend purchasing this one, because if you have this, you purchase the silver one, it's a bit too long and it will not fit. Unfortunately, this is the one I have, so I will just be replacing mine just like this. And all that I do is I'm going to go ahead untighten this some more. Filter sits in there like that. I'm going to screw this guy back on so I don't waste any more of your time, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back under the car, and I have my new fuel pump hooked up. Let me get that washer with the new washer. Now, you actually want to fit the pump in here first before you put the rubber pads back on. Now the orientation goes just like that. So this metal bracket will be on the inside and it'll sit perfectly just like that. Now I'm going to see if I can get under there so my head doesn't get in the way. So what I like to do, now that I have it oriented, I'm going to put the bottom one in. Naturally, this is going to be easier said than done. put the bottom one in, hold it like so. Get that one screwed in. And I actually only hand tightened that one so I can fit the other two ones in. So I'm going to get the second bottom one in. And, oh, also there should be washers for these bolts, or for the nuts that we're screwing back in, and I will be putting mine back on. I just haven't gotten it. I'm going to be removing this again, and I'm going to get the third one right here for the top, and let me see if I can bring you up to where that one is. Oh, let me see if I can do this guy one-handed. Not really. Well, maybe I can do it from the back. That'd be sweet. I don't think I got those kind of skills. Oh, maybe I do. Alright. So the one in the back goes in here, and now all I need to do... God, this is shakier than the Blair Witch Project. Is get this little, damn it, screw guy back in there. Yep, that's not, well, hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing. Is get the screw back in there, get it back in there, get it back in there. And once those are set, I'm going to screw these back in. I will be right back with you. Alright, so after I got this screwed in, now there are no torque specs on these. I just tightened these down snugly. Not sure if that's a word. And I went ahead and slid this back on. Here is the other washer that goes right here, and the 19mm cap that goes on there. Now I did not find torque specs to these, so once again I am going to torque this down tight, but not, you know, ridiculously tight. Now it's a matter of putting the 8mm wire back on this side and the 7mm back on that side, and screwing in the nuts and washers. So I will go ahead and do that now and be right back with you. So now that I have the positive and the ground wire taken care of, all you do, you would slide your new boot over, then reconnect your hose right here. To your line right there. Slide this guy back on, tighten it up, and slide this guy back on, tighten it up, and you officially have replaced the fuel pump in your Porsche. So thanks thanks for watching, and my next video I will be doing the fuel filter. Talk to you later. Bye bye.